Nathan Outteridge, after yesterday's setback, you really couldn't have done much more today.
No, well, we kind of felt it was going to be a long stretch to make the top three after what happened to us yesterday. And, our goal was to really focus on our own performance, sail as well as we could. It was strong winds and we'd struggled a bit in that all season, to be honest, and we really wanted to see what we could do to turn that around. And so, we knew without the pressure of trying to make the top three that we probably would sail well, and, we really had such a good day and really proud of the whole team.
And the boats are all supposedly the same, but it looks like Ben's boat's pretty fast.
Yeah, I don't know, that boat's definitely pretty quick. We had our wing and our sails on it and our boards, just his hull and rudders, and I don't think those hulls touched the water the whole race, so I don't think it's the hulls that's making it go quick, but it was definitely very, very fast and easy to sail for us today, and huge thank you to Ben for such a generous offer when he never had to do that.
Yeah, I mean, the boats are the same. Actually, is there really any discernible difference once you got on it and got your gear in it?
Honestly, I didn't even notice it was a different boat. You'd look at the bows and realise they weren't white, but everything for me felt the same. The buttons, the switches, everything was in the same position. Chris said one of the buttons that he uses to lift the board was about 3 centimetres to the left, and he was missing it a few times, and it's amazing, just that subtle change. But no, that's what's so cool about these boats. You can exchange like for like parts and get people back out on the water again. And I reckon you could just change the branding across the fleet for next season and no one would know they're in a different boat.
But the point Chris is making is that even those tiny little things, you must get into sort of almost the muscle memory about some of this stuff, surely.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the first things we did do last night once the offer came through was we went and had a look at their boat, where all their buttons and switches were, and they actually took all of the panels that the guys use for the flight control, like we took that off and put it onto his boat, because there's little bits of brow, like there's a bit of grip tape on this button that feels a certain way. And so Leo went in and they pulled off Parko's one and he put his on, and Chris actually took the winch drums off our boat and put them on, because Gooby likes to sand the winches a bit to make him a little bit slippery and runs an extra wrap, whereas Chris likes a little bit more grip. So there was a few things that we could change to try and make us feel a little bit more at home. And then Ben's foot buttons for the rudders, they were actually switched. So I just said to Leo, you've got to do everything today. I'm going to get it wrong otherwise. But yeah, small customisations, but not actually performance affecting things, more just a technique thing.
You just talked about starts. I mean, in an 8-boat fleet, it's pretty tricky, as we saw yesterday. And I noticed you doing duck downs and so on. It's really hard yards, is it, in the pre-start?
Yeah, it's really tricky in the pre-start, especially in that part of Rose Bay. The start line you got today had like 20 solid, but we had between 8 and 14 in the pre-start. So you could hang back and really build and come in charging, but if you went to build in no wind, you're probably not going to get there. So it was really tough to judge where to put the boat with like 40 seconds to go so that you were strong against the fleet. And we got that pretty right in both of our races. Pete obviously had a little bit of a better start in the first one and we followed him round, but the next one he tried to get the hook on us in the start, and I think we were half a metre clear, and that was enough to get around Mark 1, and that's the difference in this racing, is the start.